Back here live at the Waterfront Village with my friend, the zombie, Jonathan. You're looking good. Jonathan just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think?
I make turtles.
It's now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy, right here from the Planet Fitness Studios on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule, that guy over there, turtle maker extraordinaire, four-time Stanley Cup champion. D-Mac there, McCarty in the house. Sam Flannel is here.
Sammy Flannel.
Sawyer is in the house also.
Thank goodness.
Our YouTube chat thread, that's always rolling. Make sure you tap into that. Catch us on social media handles on the screen as well. Any way you want to get involved with the show, we got you. We'll make your thoughts known. We're about that here. Want everybody's contributions. We'll run YouTube chat polls as the show goes on as well. Get your opinions in. Line it all up. Let's get this. Here it is on a Tuesday. And look, a lot of times I've let you behind the curtain a little bit before. We have constant communication here with all these cats around Woodward Sports. And we're kicking back and forth ideas and topics and things like that. And Sawyer's the dude, man. He comes up with like show sheets with list of topics and everything like that. But sometimes I roll in here and I blow that thing up on a whim.
Boom.
And I mean, it's 10 minutes before the show, even. And here's how I do this, guys.
Listen.
Yeah.
I gotta. If we're gonna this one though, sometimes it could be you have it brewing, because this one was a brewer. But we got to listen. Somebody jumped out of the fish tank and started poking around. And I mean, I got figure skating on my computer, talking about hockey. So I'm going to say there has to be a little bit of a kiwi initiation here to purge something, right? So we're going to have this. I didn't think you came in with, hey, guys, we got to do this. But after what went on in here and the constant barrage of Olympic stuff, I think that's what that's what erupted.
And here's what it is, guys. And it's a very simple question for me. Because I'm not. But I want to know if people are. Because I like to think I'm a common man, D-Mac. You know, for all my uppity words and bouginess, as you guys say.
From your pinky raise with the two limes into your gypsy vodka.
But, D-Mac, I would hate to be assumptive.
God dang it. There it is. The thesaurus with Uncle Neil. What did you call, what's that word?
I would hate to be assumptive on,
I
don't want to be like that. So I take it to you. I take it to the people there in our YouTube poll of the day. Very simple. Are you watching the Olympics or no? I haven't watched 1 second of it, other than the one that's on in the screen here in the studio. And I don't know if it's live. I don't know if it's not live. There's a guy that has skis with a rifle on his back that every so often stops skiing and lays on the ground and shoots a rifle and then gets up and starts skiing again. I don't know if I'm unpatriotic. I don't know if I'm too political. I know the games are in China. I don't really follow what's going on as far as that's concerned. Here's the deal with me. Number one, I'm not watching something that I don't know if it's live or not. I'm just not. Maybe that makes me bougie. I don't know. I suspect a lot of you are the same way. Number two, it's not because they're in China for me, like for political reasons. It's because of the time zone of China. And it goes back to this. I don't know if this is live or not. I'm not watching something that already happened. I get up in the morning, I get on Twitter, I see, the highlights of what's been going on in the Olympic Games or whatever, and then that's it for me. I'm not going to watch it. D-Mac, I'm sorry. Am I the anti-Hulk Hogan? Am I not a real American because I don't watch the Olympics? And this has been a steady decline for me. And once the NHLers were taken out of hockey, that's it. There was no reason for me to watch.
I think it is your. I guess it depends on what's important to you, right? Exactly, because the shine of the Olympics has definitely gone by over the past, especially the Winter Olympics and stuff like this, and a lot has to do with competition or sports people can relate it. Now, for me, it's not must-see viewing, but if I walk by a TV and there's an event going on, that I like, the speed skating or the slalom or something like that, or if I hear a name that I like, I'll stop. But again, like you said, there's something to me, Neil, about knowing the live update. If I find out or if I hear driving, oh, hey, this person won a gold and this person won this, and I have no interest in watching it. So I think it's just the way it's displayed. Then it gets in, but everybody has their sort of own opinion, right? Like you look at it and it's on here, right? And they got the biathlon. Right, like
is
you
that
said,
what this
no
is? Okay.
interest except I was watching the guy shoot the targets, and I was like, ooh, he missed, and there's this time. Like, no, I had no understanding. A lot of these sports people don't understand the ones that they do, and I guess I don't know. It's not what it used to be. It's not, and you're not. I don't think it's unpatriotic or it's whatever else. You look at the way of the world, and then here's the other thing with the tests and the COVID and all this stuff too. And yes, these athletes have dedicated 4 years, if not, longer than their lives to be here. And then all of a sudden, one test can take them out. And we're starting to hear that. So it's sort of like the Olympics was always about the best of the best in the world in their sport. And when you don't have the best of the best athletes because of something, it sort of takes it away. And that, to me, adds a little bit, it's not their fault, but it takes some shine off it.
Yeah, Tammy Chin on our YouTube chat thread says, I'm watching curling and women's hockey. I'm also watching Shaun White, too. John Suba says, did anyone see the Olympic stage that looks like SmackDown from back in the day? Steve Brown says, it's mostly been background noise for me. So Lions Rumble 81 says, I am watching the hockey tournament, though. And that seems to be the prevailing theme. So I guess I am pretty similar to everybody else, where the hockey kind of draws me in. And if it's not the NHL guys playing, because D-Mac, you and I often have hockey discussions, and I think you and I have good NHL discussion that you don't get anywhere in this town, because you provide the in-depth knowledge, I kind of provide the narratives of what people think, and it meshes well. And I've always said the reason I like Olympic hockey is because Olympic hockey does what the NHL should do. I'm a huge fan of the international ice. Oh. Huge fan, because
the game's changed to that. What have we said? This is more of a European hockey league where they need, with the talent and the size and the skating ability, and with the Olympic ice, that's where the talent sort of comes out.
Right.
So we're in 100% agreement.
It's basically the closest thing you're going to see to an all-star game, but it's real, where everything's on the line for these guys. And once the NHLers got pulled out, I was like, because I would, if the U.S. is playing Canada and they say it's on at midnight, and it's a Saturday, it's a Saturday, I'll lock in for that.
Well, we know that's not even, because we know that you probably even give a get-right special if it was out there, too.
13-5 this year.
13-5, Neil was, but if anybody knows, it's that late game, so midnight on Saturday is sort of Neil's, like, honey time. That's right in his wheelhouse and stuff. Here's the one thing, right? Because if you're a purist of the game of hockey, the game between the U.S. and Canada women's is a must-see no matter what. I was telling Fish earlier that no matter where they play in front of how many fans, that has the most purest form of hockey, I guess, hatred in the sport or rivalry that continues. And it always has. You can go watch old games from old Olympics, from world championships. It's just always there. Two of the best in the world. So I think it's just, and Neil, here's the one thing too. I can't just I got to go find it. I got to go to Peacock, or I got to go here. I got to search.
USA.
When I got to search for something,
you're out.
I'm out, right? When I got to search for something, I'm out. I'll just turn on the IWTV and watch some wrestling stuff. Right?
And that's something, too. Naki says this, too, on our YouTube chat thread. I just don't like the Olympics has come so commercial where you have to pay for outside streaming services just to watch the damn thing. And that's what it is. And I think people have proven they'll still do it for basketball. I think they would, because, I just go back to what I would do. I would still do it for basketball in the summer games. I did it this summer. I would still do it for hockey in the winter games. That got taken away. And that's really it. I am not the fringe sports. Speed skate, who doesn't like short track speed skating? This is America. Our attention
spans. We just
spans.
talked about NASCAR. That's like NASCAR on ice right there.
Yeah, our attention spans are as short as they've ever been. They're only getting shorter. I like to call those short attention span sports. I like them just like everybody else does. Instant gratification, all that kind of stuff. If it's on the network feed at a time that's convenient for me, because remember, I was talking to Fish about this earlier. The thing with the Olympics being in China, it's not because I'm political, it's because of the time zone. The thing with it being easy to find, I think that is more about me. That says more about me being American, because I'm lazy when it comes down to it. I want it handed to me.
We've been trained that way, right?
Because it's always been handed to us.
We've been conditioned that way when it's not a priority. So if it was a priority or something to watch, that you could go find it, but again, and to the marketing part of it, who are the marketable stars? I mean, I know Michaela Schifrin, who's probably the best.
I have no idea who that is.
That's a skier.
Okay.
But then you hear different things like she doesn't get to test the track out before she goes, and different things like all these things coming into play. So it doesn't. But that's just because she's like the newer, better Lindsey Vonn.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
okay.
but she's better.
See, I know who Lindsey Vonn is.
Right. But who are you mentioned Shaun White, right? He's like our generation.
Yeah,
he's been around.
Retiring,
The Flying Tomato's been around for a long time. But who are the new guys? I know the shredder Jake Vetter, my buddy out of Brighton, coming right off the hill there. He's an Olympian, so he's out there and stuff like that. So I will seek out when he's going if I can see him on TV, and I think it's that connection. Because we always used to have that connection, right, to some sort of Olympic athletes. You mentioned speed skating, Apollo Antonono.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's some sort of, I guess this is my ode to him right here. Right? Exactly.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is. But so am I right? Am I wrong? Is there like are there marketable Olympians too?
Well, I think it's all that, though,
in the
D-Mac.
forefront. Like they're not shoving anybody down my throat, so I got to go see. I got to go see. The big controversy is there's a Chinese American that is skating for China. All this different stuff. So
yeah, I think it's all that, though. It's like everything else. Everyone always wants to put it on one thing or the other, and I think it's a perfect cocktail of that. And this is a great point, too, that I haven't heard brought up a lot. FJ 1967 says, they keep adding events. It's not what it used to be. It's boring. And there is something to that. And I know this is going to be blasphemous, but you guys hear me talk about the weather. I hate the winter. I hate it. And no, I'm not going skiing. And no, I'm not going snowboarding. No, I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm not going ice skating. None of that stuff. I'm just going to sit around and wait for it to be warm. That's what I'm going to do. I'll work out indoors at Planet Fitness here at the Planet Fitness Studios. That's what I'll do.
Because your fitness is essential.
Because my fitness is essential, D-Mac. But with all that being said, once they put snowboarding in the Olympics, that was when it got dumb to me. For real. It did. And I know then they had like ball dancing or ballroom dancing or square. That was stupid too. Don't get me wrong. But that was like a mainstream stupid addition to me snowboarding. Go ahead, fire off, oh, Neil, you suck. You're a bad American. America dominates snowboarding. They do. I would assume we do.
America hasn't won a gold medal yet.
Really?
It's the longest time or the duration.
See, now you know what else, D-Mac? And this is something that I just kind of thought about when you brought that up. Because we're not winning like we used to.
I was just going to say, is it because we stink and we're not at the top, so we're a front-running country?
100%.
So that's a lot to do with it, too.
Yeah.
Like there's different things here, and where is it? I brought it up where we know who Lindsey Vonn is, but we don't know... where did it go?
Esther Lecca and her awesome story.
Right? And her awesome story. But that's what the beauty of the Olympics is. We would be introduced to these people. But again, I got to check this person out because of the awesome story and because it was brought to us by our chat thread, right? And check it out. But yeah, you're right. We don't. And we should.
And I think that's part of it, too. And I think it's a bigger part of it than we'll let on. We'll continue that discussion when we come back. But let me tell you something I do like to do in the winter or the summer or the fall or the spring, whatever.
Sport.
That's Gypsy Vodka. 50 different formulas, countless taste tests. But Gypsy Vodka, the best tasting, smoothest vodka on the market. The technicals. It's gluten-free. It's corn distilled 6 times. They use artesian spring water when they make it. Yes, that's the technicals. But the bottom line is, it's good tasting vodka. They got a cool bottle, as you see if you're watching our YouTube channel. Right now, my bottle's gone down here. I don't know how that happened. But anyway, support local guys from right here in the state of Michigan. Proudly made in Petoskey, Michigan. Try a bottle today. Ask for it by name. It's Gypsy Vodka. As always, drink responsibly.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. The old man, Neil Rule, D-Mac Durham. I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. As soon as I came out and said when they added snowboarding. Look, Sawyer. Big winter sports. Okay, stop, everybody. We go to Sawyer. Sawyer, big winter sports guy. Lived in Europe. Like, you're as legit as it gets, okay? Big skier. Go skiing all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Be honest with me, but a big sports fan, the same.
Mm-hmm.
Was it dumb when they added snowboarding to the Olympics?
I don't think so, because I personally enjoy watching snowboarding. And
No. I
get
get that. It doesn't mean that you don't like snowboarding.
But I was also born into when snowboarding was already in the Olympics, so I don't know the Olympics.
It wasn't
without
dumb,
snowboarding.
Neil. What it did is it took tradition and modernized it. Old rules wrote.
Yeah.
So all the it's like changing. It's taking the two-line pass out of hockey. It's not the same game as
Taking the two-line pass out of hockey was necessary.
Right. No, I understand that, but
That's
I mean,
different.
if you want to go back to the traditionalists and all the stuff like that in different sports, that's sort of when it sort of made the change to, technology-esque, all this different things. Can I?
Go ahead, fire away, everybody.
Dude,
Fire away.
this is the best one. If I had I got to get a horn or whatever like this, but why wouldn't it come from Dabber, who says, nails it right on? Neil is the guy that buys a ski resort and commercializes a small town feel in the movies. That is him. Is there money to be made? Where's the bag? Don't worry about it. Oh, you guys need more gypsy vodka? Hey, Neil Rule here. Nailed it right there. Can't deny it. Cannot deny it. Neil Boomer Rule. There you go.
See, and that's not Sawyer. Look, am I a boomer? Do I have boomer tendencies?
I don't know. I mean,
I think we know each other enough now.
Yeah, that might have been a little bit of a boomer take, but I don't think overall.
Yeah.
You're a boomer. No, not at all.
You're not,
you know what?
You're not a Maz.
No, I'm not. And you know what, too, now that I think about it, and again, I think this is a character strength to me. I have many flaws, and I'll openly admit to my flaws, but I also think that this is a strength. As I sit here and replay that take in my mind and hear Sawyer discuss it, you're probably right, Sawyer. That was a bit of a boomer take, and that is kind of anti where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough though. I mean, my generation, we were born into the Winter Games having snowboarding, so we just don't know.
Can't
what it
look
was
at
like
you
before
right, bro.
then.
You didn't watch Star Wars properly.
Oh,
4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. No,
Well, see,
you
I
got
was
Jar
born
Jar
to a
Binks. We
family.
talked about this, why you would be all
Yeah.
out early. Because you had Phantom Menace first. We just look at things differently.
Well, that YouTube chat comment, too, about buying the ski village and commercializing it, that also, that turned the light on to me, too. I know why they did that, because over here in our YouTube chat thread, Michael says, adding events isn't a problem with me. When they had the Summer Olympics, I love watching skateboarding. And that was the ultimate monetization of the Olympics to get Sawyer in the mix.
Well, that's the yin to the yang.
Yeah.
Right? And also, too, it's the same thing as well. That would be when the traditional Olympics, but again, trying to bring everything into one, bring the youth in, because, I mean, the Olympics and hockey, and I think because what we're going to talk about later after this All-Star weekend, but hockey might be moving ahead of the Olympics, which is sad as far as, what people really care about. Is that out of line to say? But it's just sort of like, at least in this country.
Yeah, and I guess that's Adam Baydoun, who's featured on the Morning Woodward show here, heard 8 to 10 every single day on Woodward Sports Network and 93.5. The Roar as well. Adam says, Neil, I love you, Dad. And that's on me. I made a mistake right there. I made a mistake. Yeah. The Deaton Show. All these Olympians are so young. I think it's the next generation's turn to watch these players and fall in love with someone like we did with Shaun White. J.D. Smith 3111. Neil, I like you a lot, but definitely dropped in my book after that snowboarding comment. I don't know. Looking back on it, I regret that I made those comments because now I see what the motivation was. It was a monetary, monetarily motivated, and I should appreciate it if I would have stayed true to my character.
On a Curse of Oak Island Tuesday, Neil, I'm very proud of you. Hopefully, we'll find gold tonight.
No, but I should have seen through that and thought it through, and now I'm very much supportive of it. What else could drone racing, esports,
drone racing.
Esports
is cool.
Would a Madden Olympic tournament, would that be fit for the Summer Olympics around training camp or the Winter Olympics around the Super Bowl?
Don't get it twisted. There's going to be listen. So this is Sawyer's bag here, but with all the esports in the virtual world, I wouldn't be surprised in the next few years where you see the worldwide events. I know they have the teams all over the world and stuff like this, but some sort of and because of the metaverse and the NFTs and Bitcoin and the way the world's going, it will be more popular. You know, I mean, there's going to be a metaverse Olympics sometime where don't have to go anywhere. You put on your virtual suit and you're competing and people are watching and that's what it is. You're sitting in the stands and you're rooting on your virtual buddy. Right from it's coming.
You're watching it on your Oculus.
That's
right
what
there
I'm saying.
Courtside.
You're right there. You're in there. You're looking around. You're passing popcorn fish. You know, like I'm saying, meet me. It's coming, and that's the wave of the future. But I'd like to know who are the new young ones. Who are the ones that are going to be around? Because what we used to be able to do, whether it was Summer Olympic, go, okay, this kid's 18, this kid's 20, 24, 28, 32. Wow, he's got 4 Olympics in him. Michael Phelps or whatever. You get invested in somebody who's young that you know is going to be around. I don't have that nowadays because it's not sort of thrown to me, and it just goes to show you. To me, it gives me a temperature of where the Olympics are at in the whole scheme of things, at least in this country.
Dom Rivera, 88. Big D, best damn sports show out there. Appreciate you, Dom. Thanks a lot, Tom, for those words. Adam Morenzi. Neil's an amazing personality for Big D Energy, expressing his mind freely. And then there are people out there that say the Olympics suck. I mean, FJ 1967, like BMX in the Summer Olympics. When are esports coming to the Olympics, Sawyer? What do you think? What's your take on it?
I don't know. I mean, if it does come, I think it'd only be like League of Legends. That's the game. So
yeah,
maybe in the next Olympics or 2 Olympic Games, but I highly doubt it.
I think it will be.
I feel fine.
Naki says the Olympic TV coverage is subpar at best. The old days, living in the Detroit area, watching Jim McKay or turn the channel and watch CBC, that was the best. Now it's pure garbage. And I guess this is a boomer take where I do miss that, where you could turn on CBC and see what was going on with Canada. We were talking about it before because I honestly do think that part of it is America's not as dominant as they used to be.
Well, I think that's one of it. I think, Rob brings up a great point. No matter what it is, it's time frame, discombobulated channels. I might want to watch something, and this is true. Tell me if somebody's like this. It's like, oh, okay, this thing's on. Let me find it. And I can't find it. And then I'm searching around, and it's already finished, and I come across the result. That bums me out, right? Like that's sort of, so I don't want to be bummed out, so I sort of want to try to find that feed live, but there's something to it there. And then when you see, you don't recognize people competing, you don't recognize, the names that you're used to, you lose interest. There's so much other stuff to do.
Yeah.
Right? I think you're right, though. The time frame, but the fact that we're not winning. We're not dominant. We haven't been, right? Front runner and everything.
Right. Robert Colosia puts it, I think, pretty fairly, too. The problem with the Olympics, and this goes for both winter and summer, is the Asian time zones and the discombobulated channels and times for the replays, and the fact we get spoiled on who already won. And when you boil all this stuff down, guys, that's my biggest problem with it. Because, look, let's be honest about why do sports television rights command such big dollars? Because they're the last thing left that is un-DVRable, meaning you have to watch it live. Or is anybody going to DVR the Super Bowl and go back and watch it?
Some people.
No, they won't.
Yeah, they will.
D-Mac. How are you going to escape what happened in the Super Bowl?
No. They're going to go back and watch different plays or
No.
watch
I know that. There are a lot of people that do that. I'm talking about who in the world is going to say, yeah, I'm just going to watch a Super Bowl later. I'm going to DVR it and I'll watch it on Tuesday. Nobody, because you know what happens. You have social media.
There's some people that do that just to be on the opposite. But right, that takes away the gist, takes away the jam, all that different thing. And
hey, D-Mac, here they come. Maswell.
Like I said, there's somebody out there, and you guys know who he is, right? Exactly, Maz.
No, Detroit Dabber says Maz will TiVo
hey,
it.
to the point.
What's that sound it made?
To the point of, the gaming, they want nothing to do with the IOC. Guys, the gaming going to create their own new world. Like, that's the whole thing. The IOC is a dinosaur. They don't need the International Olympic Committee. They're going to create their own virtual International Olympic Committee or whatever. It's two different worlds. But to your point, though, Neil, it's one of these things that it's not convenient, right?
Yeah.
The conveniency, it doesn't check those boxes, right? Usually it's got to check a couple fives, right? If we're doing the, 5, we want to watch it, need of the excitement. I guess more to if there's the finals, like the finals, the gold medal of the hockey, the gold medal of the women's, maybe even the gold medal of the curling, right? And it all depends on who's there.
And that's part of it,
Are you going
to
to watch the finals of the curling if Canada or the U.S. are there? I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I mean, I'm not. I know that people like curling because they all play shuffleboard in the bar and think it's like the same thing. Like, I understand why people like it. For me, I probably would watch the gold medal hockey game. If U.S. is playing in the women's gold medal game, I'll watch it.
Okay.
And that's part of what I've talked about before, just with sports on television in general and why attendance is going down at events too, especially to teams that don't win. We've become that way now where we're a big event society, and that's it. And if it's not a big event, then it's not cool for us to be there, or it's not cool for us to watch, and we won't watch.
What is the time change over there?
I have, 12 hours, 14 hours? I have
guessing.
no idea.
Sorry, do you know?
I have no idea.
And that's the problem, too, because how many times are you, because it's like half a day to watch it live, is that you're like, I got to watch this at, 8 in the morning. I'm going to turn this on. And then you get doing something, right? Because it's not your regular routine on even a Sunday morning or something. Next thing you know, it's 9:30 and you're trying to find it and the game's over. And the Olympics has the same sort of effect as European football a little bit, but even worse. Right, because of how early it is, but the games, and I think,
but it's always consistent though. With soccer, it's 9 a.m.
right,
and
so
3 p.m.
So you will get on that schedule.
Yeah,
You'll miss. You'll be like, I'm not going to do that again, and it's consistently there at 7 or 7:30 if you wanted to watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch the women's hockey gold medal game when USA plays Canada again. That's about all I'm going to commit to.
Yeah,
it is for real. That's all I'm going to commit to, and that's just the way that it is. Let me tell you what else is the way that it is. If you want to get down your action on the Super Bowl, mybookie.ag is the play. Big game is here, everybody. It's your best bet for your Super Bowl action. Mybookie.ag. They'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000 with the promo code Woodward. The only way watching the biggest game of the year could get any better is getting paid to do it, and MyBookie will give you everything you need to do that. Namely, they'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000 with the promo code Woodward. You can bet anything, anytime. When I say anything, guys, they got the prop sheet out. I was perusing them yesterday on mybookie.ag. Smooth interface, easy to read, all that stuff. Very obvious, easy to work with, and that's going to matter to you just as much, almost, as who you're betting on is how you're betting on it. MyBookie.ag is the best play. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Have a problem with gambling? Call the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline, 1-800-270-7117.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
An event 10 years in the making. Sunday, February 13th, Woodward Sports, Gypsy Vodka, and Cintron present the Stafford Bowl.
Hurry up!
Live broadcast at the Brass Rail in Detroit.
Hey, keep stacking these drives now. Keep stacking these drives. Gotta have good ones every time we touch the ball.
Come out with all of your friends for our pregame and stay for the watch party.
Big drive right here, all right? We gotta keep pouring it on. Good fundamentals. Let's punch another one in, all right? Big drive. Let's go.
The entire Woodward staff will be at the Brass Rail as Matthew Stafford and the Rams take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Come experience the Stafford Bowl on massive big screens, drinks, pizza, and DJs. One day, the Lions will make it there. Until then, we have Matthew Stafford and the Stafford Bowl.
Let's go! That's unbelievable! That's unbelievable, and you know it. You know it is, though.
See you Sunday at the Brass Rail with Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty. We got Sawyer in the production booth. We got Sam Flannel in the sound booth as well. Happy to have you all along for the ride. If you're listening on 93.5 The Roar, Detroit's new all-sports alternative, appreciate you tapping in. 99.1 FM, 94.7 HD2 as well. Don't forget about the podcast page also. Everywhere you get podcasts, the Big D Energy podcast. You get the show on demand, rewind it, fast forward, whatever you want to do. You want to listen to the Olympic discussion? Cool. You're in there. You want to go past that? Talk about the Lions offensive coordinator situation like we're going to here in a couple of seconds. You can do that as well. It's all at your control. If you're lazy like me, it's perfect because it goes right to your phone and away you are. AC asked me, what do you think about the Auburn head football coach situation going on? Brian Harsin sounds like he's in some trouble because you got a bunch of guys transferring from Auburn. So that is not good for business.
That's just, you talk about, here in Michigan where you go Michigan State and, the little brother sort of thing. Auburn's little brother extraordinaire because they've won national championships and still don't get the respect. Digging into it, there's some extracurriculars that going on that inside the organization that are being questioned. So whenever the kids are transferring and getting out of Dodge, that's usually a sign that things aren't going good. So I wouldn't expect him to be there any longer.
Yeah, and, for me, obviously working in college sports, have a lot of friends in college sports that are all over the country now. And I actually heard an interesting story about him where he opted not to play in Bo Jackson's golf outing that was down there. It's like a big golf outing they do around Auburn. It's Bo Jackson.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the punchline.
Declined an invitation,
Why?
Chose not to play. Exactly. I don't know.
That automatically is gonna sit wrong, unless you had a family emergency or you were sick or something like that. But the way that you made it sound, and allegedly he was doing things inside the organization you're not supposed to do, fraternizing with fellow employees. Allegedly that's the thing.
It's not trending good for that man.
It's not trending good for that man.
And then remember too, they just paid Gus Malzahn $21 million to not coach.
But do you understand? That's what I say. When you look at the bigger picture, and I like to take the 30,000-foot view, is that, wow, you know what? Auburn really doesn't get that respect. Bringing that national championship, but Alabama is the king dog. And at the end of the day, I guess the foundation, like you said, because I looked at Auburn and went, okay, it's from the Cam Newton days of Malzahn and whatever. Okay, they got their legit program is somebody that has to be dealt with, but smoke and mirrors and falling apart, and it'll be interesting because that's a team you usually expect to see in the top 10.
When Bo Jackson asks you to go to his golf outing,
Bo Jackson asked you to cut his grass. You better be over there picking it with a tweezer.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Lions got an OC right now, Ben Johnson, the tight ends coach. Johnson coming into his 11th year in the NFL. He's just 35 years old, so part of that youth movement. As a boomer, it makes me sick. I know. That's going to be everybody's take on there. No, it is exciting. My understanding is, and I don't have firsthand knowledge of this, but when they went away from Anthony Lynn, he had a lot of say and a lot of input as far as plays they were running and things like that. And he must have, because now he's the OC.
Well, yeah, and I guess that would tell me if you're going to hire from within along the way. When Dan Campbell took over the reins as offensive coordinator that Ben Johnson and him sort of work more side to side, closely, right? So for Dan Campbell to go from taking the reins as head coach of offensive coordinator, it was just sort of a matter of time to the grooming. I like the fact this kid's 35, but he's been in the league 11 years, coming from the tight ends coach or whatever. So he's worked his way up, right? When you work your way up, you know the intricacies of organizations or how to deal with people. I expect him to be good at communication, being able to deal with people, and I think that relationship with the coach is already stronger than even Anthony Lynn's was coming in. Why do I say that? Well, we see the way at the Senior Bowl that he was given an opportunity. So in order to make this decision right now because of the way the pieces fell, I think that this was a plan. Again, in Brad Holmes do I trust? And this tells me, along with when we look back of the draft last year, the guys playing, this is all part of the process. So I like it.
Yeah, I like the resume too. Certainly, I know he's very, very young, but started off as a graduate assistant at Boston College, spent 7 years at Miami, and just kind of worked his way through the system. So, the resume's good and everything like that. I don't know.
Do you see in 2019 the offensive quality control coach?
Yeah.
Which means that you get the pulse of the guys and the players and stuff like this and bringing it in. So, again, I mention it a lot when I talk about Michigan, and last year what Jim Harbaugh did well is he got a communication buffer with a lot of former players and guys between the team, and this could be one of those things. Not that Dan Campbell needs it, but the younger the guys, when you feel, a part of it, because he's not that much older. When you're only 10 years older or less than your players, there's something to relate, and his track record breeds credibility to the locker room. Like, not what's this guy done or whatever, is that, okay, he's put in the work. We look for guys like that.
And that's where, too, I think in the NFL, a lot in the NBA also. I mean, I guess sports in general, now that I think about it, where just the younger minds resonate with the players more. And we're in a day and age, D-Mac, where players have more say and more control than they ever have. Is that fair to say?
But yes, I would say so. But it's the communication of figuring out, instead of the old curmudgeon or the boomer,
do as I say.
Go and do as I say to whatever it is. It's the
we'll
middle realizing, hey, boomer, this is your message you're trying to get across, but it's not coming across that way. Revamp the message and let me use my 35-year-old terminology to get to the kids. So then it's, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of times it's communication. What do I say around here? I say it all the time. If the communication is good and between everybody else, then the flow goes along. Doesn't mean you run into issues, but everybody's on the same page. You deal with it, right? That's where it is, the communication. And I like the way this fits out. It's a lot. I look around comparables, promoting within the organization. It could be said a lot of the same, where people aren't as familiar with Sean Horkoft in the Red Wings organization, even though he's a Sparty, he was captain Edmonton and stuff like this. But it's that ability where, even though he's a little older, been around a long time, that the relationship with Stevie and that has been growing for years. So to be able to be put into the number 2 role is huge.
Joey, 2 times on our YouTube chat thread, says Anthony Lynn was a run-happy, unimaginative fuddy-duddy. Let Kyle Shanahan have him if he thinks running every first down is such brilliant play calling. I will tell you this, Joey. Be ready for a lot of first down running next year, especially when that offensive line gets put back together. They're not going to be slinging it around the yard, man. The Lions are going to go to, in my opinion,
I think what we saw in the last 6 games, and 3-3 or whatever, like more of the balanced offense, right? Putting Jared Goff in a position where you keep the defense thinking play action, that's where he's effective, right? You got to use his assets, and obviously DeAndre Swift, Jamar Jefferson, Williams, whoever's coming out of the backfield. Craig's there. Craig's still there. Whoever's coming out of the backfield, that we will, because like you said, developing on the offensive line. We got, Frank Ragnall's coming back too. I mean, it's like what the Wings are going to experience after All-Star break when Verona comes back.
It's a guaranteed top 10 offensive line next year. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
And look at the way they ran the football.
Golden rule right there.
No, they ran the football in ways that they have never ran the football before last year. That was even through the injury.
You're right.
So what do you think is going to be the case when they're all back?
I like what you're selling me here, bro. It smells great. I'm all in. Now we'll wait and see. I just like the pieces of the puzzle and the foundation that are being put together. And these are guys that are there. You're not going out and going, hey, we need this guy from this organization, this guy, right? We're beyond that now. It makes me feel good because it makes me feel like when I watch the Red Wings and Steve Eisman bringing back Nick Lidstrom and Pat Verbeek moving on, but having an answer for it. So that's what responsible, disciplined teams do. And
Alex Haggerty brings up a good point, too, in our YouTube chat thread. He says, also, Ben Johnson isn't a, quote, Dan Campbell guy. He was hired by Patricia, so there's no favoritism being shown to that. And you know what? I do like that.
Absolutely.
That's what I like about Holmes and what Dan Campbell has done with that. I honestly believe, and I think this is something that's big, because for me, in places that I've worked, it's something that I've always bought into. When the guy up top or the boss, when they don't care about the control, they don't care, quote, whose guy it is, they don't care about any of that stuff. Those are the people I vibe with, man.
Right, because it's about doing the job. He's the best qualified guy for the job, and at the time, to me, it tells you more about this guy because he was kept on after what Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn did here. So it speaks to the person and the maturity at even a younger level, which even gets me more excited because that you're dealing with culture.
Right. Rack says running on first down is okay if you actually establish a good running game. Running for 4 to 5 yards is different than running to 0 to 1 yards. Spearwalker 77 does running on first down really matter as if you go for it on fourth down as much as we do. And those are questions I think where, to me, I think you'll see it because it's a strength. Because I believe it's a true strength that the Lions will have next year, especially with that offensive line being back, because you can't handicap the injuries. And just the success that they had running the football, I think if anything else, D-Mac, it'll lead to more going for it on fourth down, as long as the analytics support it. Like 4th and 1s, 4th and 2s. I'll go for it every single time, man. You know where I stand with it.
You know he's not afraid to put all his chips in the middle. He's all in at any moment. But it's being smart, and it's you look at – see, what we're talking about, whether they do or they don't, is having the option, right? And I think that you saw the development of Amon-Ra St. Brown, being that Cooper Kupp-ish, Julian Edelman slot receiver, which, when your play action is peaking, anybody's play action is peaking, right? That starts from your running game, and that makes you an asset. So whether it's a short pass, whatever they do, it's gonna. The object is to throw the defense off balance. And when they need to run, they run it better than they even did last year because they ran it differently.
Well, when I need to run, I roll out to Planet Fitness. Do it every single day, at least Monday through Friday anyway. Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. Membership starts right now at $0 down and just $10 a month. That'll get you access to your home club. There's a black card option as well, available $22.99 a month. Unlimited tanning, hydro massage chairs, total body enhancement, and the big thing, access to over 2,000 locations worldwide with unlimited guest privileges. Join today in club or online at planetfitness.com. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness nearby. There's one open in Midtown Detroit at the Detroit Pistons Performance Center. Right now, as I said, $0 down, just $10 a month. Want to work in fitness as well? Planet Fitness hiring all positions. For more information, go to planetfitness.com. Your fitness is essential at Planet Fitness. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
And a miraculous catch. Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
What's up out there? Big D Energy Land. Darren McCarty here for Les Stanford. Yes, I want to tell you about the Les Stanford Chevrolet located in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. GM announced the all-new electric Chevrolet Silverado. Right? Yes, the electric Chevrolet Silverado. Don't ask me, but it's here. So reservations are open on Chevy.com. Les Stanford and Dearborn will have one of the largest allocations, so make sure you get in line at Les Stanford Chevrolet. For more information, call them today, 313-565-6000 or online at LesStanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Back and poppin', Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, D-Mac. We got Sawyer in the booth. We got Sam Flannel in the sound room as well.
Flannel. How many flannels do you own, Sam?
Give us a conservative estimate.
15.
Nice.
Damn.
That's solid. Because I don't think I'm trying to.
I don't have 15 of anything in the arsenal.
I got 15 of a lot of stuff.
Suit jackets, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Ties.
Only top
15, hey, I keep seeing a new one every day. I like it. You know who'd be proud of you?
Debo.
The Mick.
Oh,
Mickey
yeah.
Redmond.
And Debo, too.
And Debo.
Debo.
Oh, yeah, from Friday. Oh, yeah.
Question for you. I just saw this come across on the YouTube chat thread, and I hadn't heard this. Michael Beasley says, or Bealby, my apologies to you. We might not get Verona back until late March, I've heard. That's the rumor. You hear anything on that, D-Mac?
That's a salty rumor. No, I haven't, but you know what? The one thing is that it's irrelevant, right? It's irrelevant. Yes, the quicker he comes back, more we get to see if that'll spark your boy Zadina, yeah. If we see how it makes it out. But him being 100% healthy is way more. So whether he had a setback or whether it's precaution or whether that's true, whether it's not, it's irrelevant. When he comes back, I expect, the one question is that he's 100%. So even if he has to miss a year, you look at Tyler Bertuzzi last year, played 5 games, right? And look at how he came back. We don't need it this year. Neil Rule, on this Tuesday, February 7th?
I guess. I don't know. Every day is the same to me.
I don't know. It says Monday, February 7th, so it's got to be the 8th.
Yep.
Right? February 8th. Are the Detroit Red Wings a playoff team this year?
No.
So who cares? Let's get them back healthy, whatever. So, no, to answer your question, no, I haven't heard any rumors. But, again, don't put any stock in that.
For me, too, the timing of the All-Star break was unfortunate because it did look like Zadina. Zadina's like the Wayne Fonts of hockey. Like, he pops up and you're like, okay. And then he disappears.
Well, here's the thing.
And then he pops back. And I'm ready to write him off. And then he reappears.
Bro, it's like anything else. Is that, like, don't tell me we're going to go somewhere or you're going to see. Like, don't give me the sighting, right? Because we're all good if we don't see him and he's still out. Like I said, like Bertuzzi last year expect to come back. But then you see him on the road or you see him traveling or whatever. So you automatically think, oh, it's got to be coming soon. So just hopefully precautionary, if it was a setback, whatever it is, that in the end, when he comes back, he's 100% and he's durable. You look at the big differences this year in the Dylan Larkins and the Tyler Bertuzzis is that they're healthy, right? Dylan Larkin's got his legs, man. He's one of the fastest skaters in the league, and he's proven that, and he's getting confidence and things like that. Now, Tyler Bertuzzi with the neck injury and stuff like that has come back, and he's got his career high in goals, 22 at the All-Star break. So, I mean, health and where this team's at, there's no push. Back in our day when we were at the end of the run or whatever, guys would push back to make sure they got back in the playoffs, but nobody was ever really healthy. You know what I'm saying? So that's all. I mean, if anybody else has any idea, we'll find out. But yeah, it's disappointing because you thought you were getting that new bike. You're not. Yet.
All right.
Yet.
Maybe Easter. Maybe my birthday.
Well, whatever.
Maybe next Christmas.
Whatever.
We'll have to push it to next Christmas.
You're going to get it. And
You
it's
say
going to
so,
be
man.
shiny. And you know what? It's going to bring the little one, going to hopefully knock the training wheels off of your buddy there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, D-Mac. It's just I'm wavering right now.
Well, why wouldn't you be? You had high expectations, but, like I said, and we're talking about Zadina, whenever Neil wavers or whatever he cares about, but Philip Zadina's game on a whole has improved in the first half of the year because it's more than just goals. How do I know that? Different ice time proves it, but I believe, from what I've seen, Verona's back makes Zadina better. we've seen in the past.
Okay.
It's just the way it is.
It's
like in this case, it's a Czechoslovakian thing, but it's a Swedish thing, it's a Russian thing, it's a Canadian thing. There is something to it. And why? Because I got tape on it from last year. There's chemistry.
Okay.
Right? Chemistry. The same thing you see with Stevie bringing over Pie Suter. The chemistry for playing in junior with Robbie Fabry and Tyler Bertuzzi. You can see that chemistry there at different times when they play together. So back it up, Buttercup. We got a ways to go.
Cam says Zadina's an AHL All-Star and an NHL third liner.
Okay. But is he a guy that can help you win championships in the right? See, to me, Philip Zadina was always a guy you had to put in the right position. He's not a guy that's going to do it himself. He's not a Connor McDavid or whatever, but if you put him in the right position with the right guys, that's when you get the best out of it. I'm still waiting for it. And I think Stevie sees that too.
And you told me in the past.
We've played with enough guys that we've seen that. He's seen it. There's a reason why. And if it's not, then one of the guys that is value to trade to go to somewhere else to get some value back is a Philip Zadina. Why? Because Detroit wasn't able to crack that. Whatever, somebody else will. There's certain assets. So I believe that, you could be right. Because if he's a third line guy on your team that deserves to be there, then that means your first two lines are pretty dang good, right? And if he's playing on your third line and producing, you got a playoff team. You got a winning team.
Something that you really made me pull up on about Zadina was when you talked about when he played with Verona.
Yeah.
And that
go
bought
watch
time.
it. There's tape out
You
there.
should be a lawyer. You should be like a player lawyer, D-Mac, because you bought time. You bought him some time in my book with that.
But what did I buy him time with? To you, facts, truth.
Sure, yeah,
truth, facts, stuff that because you're looking for. Let me buy in, and you can buy into that fact, right, Neil? Because it's not like, oh, well, if he just gets this opportunity, right? Trade him and let him play with Connor McDavid. Do this, do that, do that. That doesn't matter, right? The fact that you've seen it last year when Verona got here and there's something else that sparked it up, right? Why do you have such high expectations this year on Zadina? Why did you have 5 power play goals, 20 goals? Because of what you saw.
Right.
You saw that. I did too. Patience, Grasshopper. That's why the hashtag Iser plan is really the hashtag McKaiser plan, but I can only give you nuggets because we're still 3-4 years away. Guys, just pump the brakes. It's coming slowly but surely.
It is, and I've said that. And I think the constant message that we've talked about has been positive. For me, it's the cap situation.
Oh,
for me,
you've turned me. So if I've done that, because I'm sort of looking at it like this, but when you've broke it down, because I just know the man. I know the man that he's planned ahead. I don't look at cap. I don't look at draft picks, whatever like that, but you tell me. Or I listen to Chris Draper and say he's got a heck of a job, busy job, trying to go out there and find, the next guy with all these draft picks, like Stevie. And then this is the thing: is like Stevie's collected them. Now if they mess up, it's Drapes' fault, right? Because he's got to go out there and pick them. That's the way it goes in the room, and we take that pressure.
Pro sports, man.
But we take that. We want that from each other.
Right.
We want that smoke from each other because at the end of the day, what's it breed? Championship. So the fact is, here's the thing, they got all these picks, they got all this cap space, and you know what the beauty is? They're gonna do the right thing with them. That's the beauty.
That is the beauty.
That's the freaking beauty. That's what we're hoping in every other sport.
And let me see.
know that.
Let me see if I'm right here, because when you say do the right thing, you know me, D-Mac. When you say do the right thing, you know exactly where my mind goes to. No candy.
No candy. There's no candy.
No
you
Franz
earned
Nielsen,
the bag.
No Franz Nielsen contracts
Easy brought it up. Ooh, Darren Larkin's going to get the bag. Yeah, because he earned it. You got to earn everything from Steve Yzerman. It goes back to track record Steven Stamkos, who's the captain of Tampa Bay, till the 11:59 hour. There's hardball being played. It's not hardball. It's just what the expectations are.
And it's business.
Look at the man, right? He's got as much expectations out of you as he does himself. So if you're going to represent, so you're representing the word, Right? That's why I don't give out the money. That's why it's hashtag Wiser plan right now till all the draft picks and the money gets in place. Then when you want to finish the deal, that's when the McKaiser plan comes into play.
Setting him up. I like it, man. I like it. But no, it is for me. The $38-ish million in cap space next year with Mo Sider and Lucas Raymond on rookie contracts for the next 3 years. That's what gets me excited, man. It is. Because that's what I've been looking for a long time.
Absolutely, because there's a combination. That's the combination of the old and the new. Ain't the way it used to be where it's Mr. Ilitch wanted to go get, what do you need? Mr. Ilitch, we need this guy, this guy, this guy. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Write the check. Can't do it anymore.
It's like the combination of Fowling Warehouse and the Mystery Beer Machine.
No way.
There. I mean, you got a perfect place to go on a weekend. Over 100 beers to choose from. 2 huge bars. Multiple lanes, so you can always find a lane to play at. I mean, this is the perfect place to be in the perfect time of the year right now, guys. We got the Super Bowl this weekend. We got NASCAR kicking off, IndyCar, Formula One, NHL's getting out of the All-Star break, NBA's coming into the All-Star break. So, I mean, there's action all around. There's plenty of Fowling to play, plenty of TVs to watch, all the sports going on. And it's such a good time, such a great way to spend a weekend, kill some time if you're bored at home. I mean, I'm a big gamer. I can only play so many levels of Red Dead, so many levels of Doom, so you got to get out of the house. Just got to go do something. Get the arm loose, I got to work that arm out every once in a while. I used to pump weights a lot, but now I just go to the Fowling Warehouse and just throw till my arm falls off. As we know, normal spiel, Mystery Beer Machine, you can't go wrong with it. We got hitters every single time you go and play it. D-Mac hooked me up with a PBR the first time we went. Then we had the old Milwaukee. Braylon pulled the Colt 45s.
People are tweeting and Instagramming their collection from.
I didn't grab them again today.
Can you maybe give me a plethora of that?
I know.
Maybe give me a little.
Neil sent me one. A guy, he got a Rolling Rock and a Natter Day.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a pretty good combo. I mean, going out and asking for those yourself, no. But getting it from the Mystery Beer Machine, you'll take it. Because it was a mystery.
100 out of 100.
Makes it a little fun, But again, if you don't want to put $2 into that machine, you can also just choose from the over 100 beers. Get yourself a Guinness, get a Red Harp, get a Two-Hearted Ale, Oberon. I mean, Corona, Flannel Sam looks like he's a Coors Banquet type guy. You can probably find that there as well.
I mean, maybe. If it's in the Mystery Beer Bar, I'll take it.
Oh, yeah. You will take it. Because it's a hitter every single time you get it out of the Mystery Beer Machine. But, I mean, show up when they open, pay $10, stay all day, throw it to your sore, or you can rent a private lane if you don't want to deal with everybody else, or if you have a corporate event going on, family reunion, got a date or something, I don't know. But they got private reservations. Bring some food in, Uber Eats, bring a picnic basket, do your normal thing. All you got to do, though, is just go to thefowlingwarehouse.com. I'll say it again for you. Go to thefowlingwarehouse.com or just show up in person at the Fowling Warehouse in Hamtramck. This is Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. We got Neil on the desk, D-Mac on the desk, Sam's in the audio booth making us sound crispy, and I'm keeping us live. We'll be right back on the Woodward Sports Network.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Neil Rule here for Chili Peppers Tanning. It's a place where you find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless sanitized room, trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They'll beat all competitors by at least $5. Don't forget to pick up Australian Gold, Designer Skin, California Tan, and Swedish Beauty Lotions. I know Sawyer's big on the Swedish Beauty Lotions. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, and your vitamin D headquarters. 26 locations and more coming. And speaking of that, Big D Energy will be live at the Berkeley Grand Opening on Monday, February 21st from 11 to 1 on Woodward Avenue between 11 and 12 Mile Road. Chili Peppers Tanning. It will never not make me laugh.
Never not make me laugh.
It will never not make me laugh. Doug Fungus on our YouTube chat thread. Welcome back to Big D Energy. Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Sawyer as well, the Foaling Master, Foaling Mystery Beer Vending Machine Master. Our YouTube chat thread, Doug Fungus says Neil is the Segway Master. It's a lifestyle, Doug. I'll say it like that. Our YouTube poll, pushing up over 200 votes. Are you watching the Olympics? 77% say no. 22% say yes. And Sawyer's shaking his head, but I was justified, Sawyer, in my takes.
Yeah.
You ready to give it up now?
I mean, yeah, I'll keep watching what I like, but I accept it.
Just snowboarding, right?
Well, no, I'll watch skiing, snowboarding.
Well, yeah,
big
that
air. Yeah,
stuff.
like the freestyle stuff and the racing though. Super G was sweet last night. I like the giant slalom, alpine downhill.
Did anybody see the one dude take the slalom? I like the slalom too, man. That's just sort of like the drag racing when they're coming down the hill real fast between the skis. But the one guy took half the ski and got snapped up in his private section, and he didn't go down, but he was done for the race. That'd be hard. You ever have any bad collisions or trees or any run into anybody or any near miss moments on the slope?
I mean, over the last weekend at Boyne, I tried to go through the terrain park and hit a rail for the first time in 7 years, and that didn't end well. Just face in the snow, knees running across the rail, but I mean, it happens. It comes with the sport, you know. I'm way better at jumps and stuff.
Just got to shred on, bro.
Yeah, but you know what, though? That's why all you got to get the CBD, DMAC CBD roll on. You get right back out there.
You just got to get back up, try again.
I did notice, hey, if you do go up to Boyne and you're on the chairlift and you do see the Darren McCarty brand sticker and you send me a picture, you might get free product.
Yeah, it's like chairlift number 4 at Boyne Highlands.
Oh, there you go. Show me some pictures. Send it to Sawyer. What is Sawyer at Woodward Sports?
Yes, sir.
Send us Sawyer at Woodward Sports. If you see that, I will send you free product.
There you go. You guys have it out there. Something interesting that came across the newswire yesterday that I thought was pretty funny. I actually laughed at it. And no, I'm not doing the should the Lions make the phone call thing. Kyler Murray removed all his Cardinal photos from his social media. And
are they breaking up?
Yeah, I mean, it was really, really wild to see that. And I know the instant question and the question people in the sports talk world want to know, is he on the move? Should the Lions be interested? 248. I'm not going down that road because, they're not. It's not going to happen that way. It's not. But with all that being said, what I was interested in, and this is where I use DMAC as a resource, former professional athlete. I'm kind of new to the contract world, so I haven't had these things yet. I'm not saying I won't get there at some point, but I haven't had them yet. But DMAC, I defer to you and ask you. This seems like, and I know he's coming up on his option year, so I'm sure it's some kind of extension ploy or something like that.
I'm trying to think of what I would compare this to or whatever, but does this not just, to me, and you're a poker player.
Yeah.
And a big part of poker is not what you have in your hand, it's what
what people think you have.
What people think you have or what, your opponent, and then they call it tells, right? To me, this is a huge tell of how dysfunctional maybe that we speculated, and especially because the Arizona Cardinals come out hot, and then they peter out, and you see that the way they finish. So with the relationship between him, we always thought that him and Cliff Kingsbury is his boy, who's a coach. I don't think everything this tells me, this is sort of like not the nail in the coffin, but you know what? When you put the setting nail in, so you can nail the rest of them in, so the board doesn't swing around, right? This is sort of like we're going to hear more of this. It's a disgruntled employee or former employee, and a lot of times when these things are done, right? When can you do the look at me even more? Now, my perception of Kyler Murray is a bit of a diva, anyways. But I don't know him. There's a mystery behind it. But in doing this, if this was him, if this wasn't just a revamping of of your website, but this is something personal. I think to the conversation that we started, boomers do it one way. Do it this, tell you the right direction. Gen X, millennials do it a different way and take things away and make you notice what's not there. It's almost like there's no Waldo in the picture, right? What are you taking away? And I think it's addition by subtraction, because it's the speculative world, right? So the speculation that instead of just saying, I'm mad at the Cardinals or I'm not coming back there, I don't know if I'll be that, right? So it leaves us to speculate. But isn't that what social media is?
No, absolutely.
But I mean, so to me, initially the tell to me right away is my initial tell, I'm going by the vibe, is that, oh my gosh, things are real bad in Arizona. Right? Got your quarterback bailing on you, who's supposed to be ride or die no matter what. I look at it similarly because I compare Kyler Murray to Baker Mayfield, right? And it's not talent-wise, but Baker, I see maturity in the fact that that he's getting crapped on in Cleveland, but you saw it before until the sort of maturity, but him backlashing, him doing stuff like this. He's just sort of, okay, built my bed, did the commercials. I got this huge house in this stadium, and I got to deal with it and stuff. Where Kyler Murray's sort of the more quiet way. So Baker Mayfield may be more old school, and I think this is more new school, right? When you take away, isn't that what the kids do? They unfollow, right? This is the unfollow. Ooh, he unfollowed this, or he took a picture off. He took this picture off. And if it's your friends, right? If it's your friends or people like, I have Twitter people. Let's take, for example, my friend Rafe, Faces and Feels in Australia, right? Look at his Twitter, communicate with him every day. If something changes where I would know where he took a picture of his dog off or something like this, I would ask, bro, everything all right with and there'd be a story there. So we follow that way. So to me, I guess my question back to you is this a ploy for something bigger, right? Because to me,
I didn't think about it that way, so you just brought that up, and you're probably right, and that's where I would lean towards Sawyer, and Sawyer's generation. What's your take on this, Sawyer? Being a younger
my
dude.
Generation.
I just think it's interesting that it just clears everything off. But I feel like I grew up seeing that. When people break up with each other, they wipe their Instagram of all the pictures of their ex-girlfriend or boyfriend. So, when I see that, I kind of see it as that relationship's kind of done, or he's trying to move on from it, or obviously something happened that we don't know, whether it was with the front office or the owners or
the coach
some
or
teammates.
whatever.
Yeah, something went down.
And for me, it always comes back to this, right? If they were playing in the Super Bowl or they won a couple playoff games, it wouldn't be the case. They were 7-0. They were the talk of the NFL world, at least. But people who knew better, people who knew better told you that this was going to end like this.
So can I take a even bigger, deeper look at this, right? And bring it back home to the Lions about building the foundation, and we just announced that we hired within to the OC and whatever that. We might be further along because we have a plan in place than some other teams that we view that we want to be, because I don't think I want to be Arizona right now. Not because of the record, but because it's smoke and mirrors. To me, their success is smoke and mirrors, and I don't want that here.
And it's funny, too, to read the YouTube chat thread right now. And this is what it is. Chad Fletcher, Kyler's so overrated. Very next message. Olajen says, Kyler's an amazing talent. And then Olajen says, funny how everybody hates Kyler now. And that's kind of how I am. And was I critical of him? No, because I do like Kyler Murray. I think he is an amazing talent. I would say player for player, like if we could take Goff out and put Kyler in, I don't think there are many Lions fans that would say no to that.
Would we be a better team with Kyler Murray
100%.
Like next year as a quarterback? Yes.
Player for player. But now I go into my world where I am right now. Next year's the option year. The following year, UFA. I got no interest in Kyler Murray right now.
No, because Kyler Murray, your guy.
$40 million a year.
Right, is he your guy? No, because then the detriment. Now, great player, sort of wish now, but he's more of a buffer pick, too. He's more of a placeholder to the next quarterback. I'd rather, to your point, right, take that draft choice, whether it's this year if Brad Holmes believes that the guy's there, but more so next year, right, and then go from there with the contracts that we talk about every day.
Yeah, it's just, for me, the stop on the highway, I always talk about it this way, if you're driving up north. The exit on the highway that he's on right now, he's getting off 23 at Standish. Like, he's ready to. He's ready
that
to
exit all the time.
Yeah, he's
going
to
up there.
He's going to go up. He's going to it through Oscoda. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's prime time going up north right now for him. And I'm not interested in taking, not because I don't like him, and not because I don't think he's a good player. He is a good player.
You're going south, baby.
And I know where everybody here, too, is, like Nacky says, Kyler Murray was the new toy, but the league figured him out, so now he needs to adapt. He's a little bit of a crybaby, in my opinion.
Here's Kyler Murray, right? Because we know of the size or whatever, and I know the comparable to Doug Flutie or whatever, but you have to put people around him to be successful because of that lack of size or whatever. He's got great skill set in certain ways, but there's some glaring detriments to him, right? So, again, he's the type of quarterback that who is he surrounded by, right? Not on his own. So, it'll be interesting how this plays out.
No, it will be, and I just want to know, just for the sake of knowing. To me, it's almost like when you lose your car keys or your wallet. Like, and I've made my peace with losing the wallet, but I just want to know where it is, just to know where it was.
Take all the money, man. Just give me the cards and the licenses and stuff, so I don't have to reapply or shut everything down.
No, even through that, like, I've already made my peace with that, right? Like, I got to call the 4 or 5 credit card companies and get the new license. Like, I made my peace with it. Where is it? Just because I want to know where it was.
I'm in that sort of, I think it's an alternative dimension because I moved something from one bag into another one and took that bag out, and then that stuff wasn't in that bag. I don't know, and I went back. I don't know where it
disappeared into the metaverse.
Yeah, and it's metaverse medicine now.
Neil Rule here for the Sports Marketing Agency. SMA's been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for a decade against the issues around mental health and substance use disorder. With the help of NFL alumni, Sean Jordan has been able to save lives and take a stand against these issues. Coming soon to Woodward Sports, the Sports Marketing Agency podcast entitled This is the F Word. It's a series on fentanyl. If you're struggling with substance abuse or mental health, they are here to help. Go to thesportsma.com. Again, that's thesportsma.com to find out more and keep an eye out for the SMA podcast coming soon to Woodward Sports. This is the F Word, a series on fentanyl.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sawyer, and Sam Flannel in the house. Don't forget Woodward Sports, Cintron, Gypsy Vodka, and Planet Fitness will bring you the A-Shawn Bowl. That's right. This Sunday, February 13th, we'll be broadcasting live from the Brass Rail in Detroit from 4:30 to 6:30. And, of course, following that, we will have the watch party. I will be down there in attendance. You rolling out, Sawyer?
I'm thinking about it, yeah.
All right.
It'll be a good time.
We'll have a couple drinks together, man.
Oh, yeah.
We'll absolutely
Maybe
do that.
Play some arcade games at the Brass Rail.
Are you rolling out?
Am I invited?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's brought to you by Woodward Sports, man. I don't know. You're a man. Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday. It's the
I mean, if you guys are, I wouldn't go if it was just Maz and those guys there. But I mean, if you're going to be there,
Mets thing to go to.
Well, and I have another question.
I actually moved some mountains in the schedule. Yeah. I do have comedy Friday and Saturday up in Lapeer, but I'll be ready Sunday.
Roll out. Now, are we going to have a television with looping this, the A. Robinson highlights? I think we should dedicate one.
I can bring one of my PC monitors.
Listen, hey, Speaking of that, whatever, like this, because and we'll talk more. You won't be here, but I think Easy will join us. But Sawyer and I will be talking more about what we expect the Super Bowl. But I would not put it past him having a sack or a big play in there, getting his little meat in there. Like that's
like when he had a pick six against Drew Brees.
Listen,
like we just watched.
Absolutely.
Big time plays, man.
That's what I'm saying.
The Ashawn Bowl, Brass Rail, Detroit, 4:30 to 6:30, the pregame broadcast, and then as we said, we will have the watch party. I'll be there. D-Mac says he's going to move some mountains and roll out. Sawyer will be there. I'm sure Sam Flannel will be in the house.
I absolutely will be.
And there you go. So we'll all be out there for that, so we can watch Ashawn Robinson lift the Lombardi Trophy. Hey, maybe it won't get here in time. I wanted the half Lions, half Rams, Ashawn Robinson jersey. Why isn't Myers selling the Ashawn Robinson Ram T-shirt jerseys?
Yeah, I don't know. They're giving all this love to Stafford, but there's a few X lines they're missing out on. Yeah,
I would have copped one of those 100%, or a Brandon Powell one.
Yeah, you could have stitched them all together, made like one super old like Lions jersey.
That's true, man. No, but we'll be there to celebrate Ashawn Robinson, and we will do that. We've closed the poll on our YouTube chat thread. Are you watching the Olympics? 77% say no.
Hey, listen, the on right here, I don't know. It looks like NASCAR racing this snowboard giant slalom straight down the hill. Somebody could get hurt. I'm in.
What is that?
Parallel giant slalom.
Okay.
So it's heated races, right? Winner take all, or is it timed?
I believe it's timed.
Oh.
But, it's cool. It's like racing snowboards, though. And they're wearing like a ski boot type deal because they're going so fast. But
how fast do you think they go?
They don't have the speedometer up on the screen, but last night during the Super G event, they had a speedometer, and those guys during the Super G were hitting like 65 to 72 miles per hour going down the hill. So...
Yeah, so legit. Just think about they're going down the hill like you're going down 75.
Oh, yeah. And they're wearing spandex, too. So
Gator Raider on our YouTube chat thread says, when do the Olympics start?
Exactly.
I appreciate I didn't know. I legit didn't know that they had. Did you know when they started, Sawyer?
Yeah.
Did you really?
I did, yeah.
I had no clue when they... And I'm as sports as it gets. Like, I don't watch movies. I don't watch shows. I watch... If a game's on, that's what I watch.
Listen, you know what? The power structure, though, is the Olympics still has more power over the WWE because they pushed them off Monday Night Raw. Made them go to Sci-Fi last night. The Olympics,
really?
The Olympics were on
the Sci-Fi Network.
What's that?
No, the
Raw had to go to the Sci-Fi Network because USA had the Olympics. So I guess they're still a little bit bigger than WWE.
Ryan's reaction says, "I'd comp Neil for a bologna sandwich." I don't know. I don't know what that means, but
you comp?
Yeah, I guess he would comp me a bologna sandwich. I guess.
You like bologna?
No.
Oh, I'll eat it.
AC says, "I'd watch if Sawyer called the game." So there you go.
Okay.
You're gaining like a low key. Pretty loyal following, Sawyer. I'm happy for you, man.
I saw somebody yesterday said they were grooming me for an evening show.
Our Sawyer's father called Sawyer's Settlers. The settlers of
we could have like a little group. They could have
Settlers. The Settlers of Catan. Anyways, that's more entertaining than baseball. What's going on with baseball?
Well,
the sport that isn't a sport. We have 3 major sports now. I'm going to move wrestling into the 4th major sport if you don't watch yourself, baseball, because you're really doing a crappy. What? Can you give me an update, please?
Yes,
is there something going on?
No, I do want to talk about this real quick, though. It's a travesty that Sawyer only has 46 Twitter followers. It's an absolute. I've been meaning to do. We got to get Sawyer up over 100 today. I know he's not, but that's Sawyer.
He doesn't want
Sawyer's
to
never going to do that.
But you know what? I think I want to keep him a little bit guarded.
Incognito?
Just a little bit. I don't want to pull it out. Like, next thing you know, and then he's got all these followers, and then he's got no time for us. But I guess we can do that if you want to. What is the handle? At Sawyer.
Give the handle out,
I think it's just, is it at Benj Sawyer?
Yeah.
Is it?
At Benj Sawyer.
I just made it to retweet the
Sawyer.
So.
Give him a follow.
I'll throw it up on my tweet or two.
Yeah. We got to do that.
Become a settler.
When's the last time you tweeted, Sawyer?
I retweeted the show today.
No, not retweet. I'm talking about, like, give the people the content they want.
I don't think I've ever, like, actually sat down and, let these two little thumbs craft their own tweet yet.
No?
I think it's always just been click a retweet button for the show. But
Can you put some? Hey,
maybe once we hit 100, I'll send out, like, a big old debut, like, video tweet or something.
Now
We'll
you're talking. And to me, it's criminal that Sawyer only has.
The people are speaking. I mean, they're coming in. You got to post more, so you got a lot to say. You need to get on there. You might have to give the people what they want.
Yeah, maybe we'll also shout out Doughboy Steve. It was him who said it yesterday. Sorry, I forgot. It was you, but yeah, we'll give the people what they want.
We'll give the people what they want.
Underrated.
Well, let me tell you what the people aren't going to want real soon. Baseball. D-Mac.
Well, it is February, right? February, isn't it? Like training camp.
Training camp's not.
Pitchers and
Spring
catchers.
training's not going to start on time. It's not going to happen.
Well,
they're saying the season probably won't start on time.
See, to me, and tell me if you're wrong, they're at a point right now, and I've been through two lockouts and stuff like this, but it's one says it's sunny, the other one says it's rainy. One says it's black, the other one says it's white. Like, there's no common ground. So do you see them finding common ground because of the money that's out there? Or do you think that we're in, like, this is getting to a point where seriously we could lose baseball, at least for a season?
At first I thought no way.
I thought no way first too.
Because baseball's too smart to do this to themselves, right? I mean, they are. Baseball's way too smart to do this to themselves. But they're going to die on this sword, D-Mac. They're not in a position. That's a good YouTube chat question. So if baseball misses time, are you going to watch?
Baseball's acting as if they're football. That they are, like, no matter what the all powers that be. Because here's the one thing, too, being the boomer sport and whatever like this and having more traditionalists, kids don't play, they could extinct themselves, right? They could move themselves into extinction and kill themselves off. This is more of a genocide of what baseball is doing by not having a finger on the pulse.
I agree.
Of how diminishing their game really is. And I'm not just talking about the professional game. I'm talking about down into the youth and down into everybody else. It's not the way it was when we grew up. So I think that out of any of the leagues that don't have a finger on the pulse of what they are, it's baseball.
And I would agree with that because we've seen it time and time again. Klompsaw says, I'll never stop watching baseball. And there's a segment, and I understand that. I think people would never stop watching NFL. They would, like, if they went on strike and used replacement players and stuff like that, they would probably stop watching that. But as soon as they came back, they would watch. And for me, it's pretty simple what's happening here, where the players want increased minimum salaries. Pretty common, right? The players want a year chopped off of service time towards free agency. Probably not going to happen. They want less manipulation of rookie, because it's service time, right? You acquire service time when you come up, but if you get called up in, September, does it count and all that kind of stuff? They want the second you get called up, that counts as a year of service time. They're battling over that. The players want the luxury tax raised. And I think it's pretty apparent as to why they would want that, because the New York Yankees will spend any dollar amount to get players. So as a whole, player contracts go up. That's the way that works. Obviously, the owners are saying, no, we're not messing with that. We're not changing the luxury tax threshold or any of that stuff. And what it's going to boil down to is this date will pass, and now they'll say, well, we can't start spring training on time, which they might already be there. Then in 2 weeks, they'll have the date where they'll say, well, the season can't start if we don't get things figured out by then. And then that date will pass. And then I think what the owners will end up doing is they'll say, look, we're not going to be able to start the season until May 1st. So you're getting, what is a season, 6 months? Just say it's 6 months for easy math. So now you're only going to make 5/6 of your salary this year. And the players are going to say, well, no, we're not going for that. And then the owners will say, how about you drop this and we'll give you guys the full 6/6 of your salary. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the whole thing, what you're talking about, right? But when does those conversations, because we're not even to the point that they're down at the table to have these conversations, right? So what you're talking about is how long does this hold off? You know, they tried to offered a federal mediator to try to speed this along, and the players rejected it as they should have. But the thing, Neil, is when is that time where they have that conversation? And to me, it's later, not sooner. So that's what puts things in jeopardy. Yes, that's what it'll come down to, concessions either way. But what will get them there? Is it the public perception, or is it somebody realizing, oh my gosh, we're in this is a lose-lose? You know, what are they going to do? What did they do last time? What did they do last time to bring fans back? Steroids.
Close their eyes to everything.
PEDs,
Right.
You know, so here's the whole thing. Whatever it is that they do, and I'm not saying that, because here's the one thing to come back where I don't put the stock into it, because whatever they do to bring people back, they're going to bail on anyways. I'd have a lot more respect going back to baseball, or what a joke it was, if it acknowledged the fact that the mistakes it made with asterisks to the people in their Hall of Fame and stuff like that. They turn it into more of a joke than anything. But you know what's not a joke? And Sunday we're at the Brass Rail, 4:30 to 6:30 for the big Ashawn Robinson Bowl. He's bringing his boy Stafford. But you better look fine. If you want to look fine, do what I do. Lady Jane's haircut for men. You walk in, you sign in, you sit down. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean and ready to go. Whichever side you're going to cheer for or root for, get it done for this Super Bowl 56. Yes, get the Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. This is Big D Energy, D-Mac, Neil Rule, Sawyer, Sam Flannel in the house. Woodward Sports Network. Be right back.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
An event 10 years in the making. Sunday, February 13th, Woodward Sports, Gypsy Vodka, and Syntron present the Stafford Bowl.
Hurry up!
Live broadcast at the Brass Rail in Detroit.
Hey, keep stacking these drives now. Keep stacking these drives. Gotta have good ones every time we touch the ball.
Come out with all of your friends for our pregame and stay for the watch party.
Big drive right here, all right? We gotta keep pouring it on. Good fundamentals. Let's punch another one in, all right? Big drive. Let's go.
The entire Woodward staff will be at the Brass Rail as Matthew Stafford and the Rams take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Come experience the Stafford Bowl on massive big screens, drinks, pizza, and DJs. One day, the Lions will make it there. Until then, we have Matthew Stafford and the Stafford Bowl.
Let's go! That's unbelievable! That's unbelievable, and you know it. You know it is, though.
See you Sunday at the Brass Rail with Woodward Sports.
Bing, bing.
Back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty. We got Sawyer. We got Sam Flannel in the house as well. We're talking baseball, but not spring training. Not are the Tigers going to do. Are they a playoff contender? Not any of that stuff. We're talking labor situation. And I'm wondering, when is enough enough? The Players Union rejected MLB's request for a federal mediator to get involved with the discussion. And one of the things, D-Mac, that I wonder if this cuts ice with anybody, and I'm going to find out because I'm going to ask the question. When you look across the landscape for professional sports, essentially, and D-Mac can probably let you know about this, essentially it comes down to what percentage of the revenues do the players get versus what the owners keep. That's essentially what it is. And we do this in our everyday life too. Whether we know it or not, we do. Wherever we work, it's essentially the same thing. But as far as it goes for the pro sports leagues, the NFL players, I guess, get jobbed the most, which we've come to expect, which is the way it is, which is why I've never understood why the player, I know why, because you're not missing a year. Your prime is not valuable in any other sport more than it is in the NFL.
Here's the thing, right? when we're talking about, and this is the dancing contract issue thing, you would think the league with the most power and everything else would have the guaranteed contracts. NFL doesn't do that. That's how they got their players by their short and curlies, is because your football career is how long? Not very. You got to get it while you get it. It's not, that's why you see the signing bonus guaranteed contracts, but still, you look at the way it's played out, that's still not even guaranteed. So it's a little bit of a different conversation, but looking at it as a professional in another sport, that's the caveat. The thing that I can go out and play as hard as I want and whatever, and no matter what, is that the contract that I have is guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? So if I get hurt, if I go out, no matter what it is, no matter what I do, whatever I signed, I know that I got that coming. Unless there's a lockout, unless there's something like that, and you can lose $2.5 million, no big deal.
Right. So again, the NFL players make 48.5% of the revenue. The NBA, right around 51%. They'll say that it's between 49 and 51, and it depends. It can be no less than 49. It can be no more than 51. Major League Baseball, however, seems to have the best deal as far as the players are concerned. Their window is 48.5% to 51.5%. Some people say, though, that MLB players, if you include all the benefits they get, are right around 54 to 55% of the revenues. NHL, they do it easy. It's just 50-50, and that's the way that it works. So I'm wondering, for Major League Baseball, their players have the most advantageous deal as far as you go for money splits or revenue splits. However, they have the longest road to go as far as free agency goes, it seems. It seems as though baseball holds on to the guys for the longest amount of time, to the point where you're really only getting one big contract.
But let me ask you this, because all four major sports, right, the collective bargaining and the Players Association, here's the one thing, too, is that that baseball's Players Association is the strongest. Right? That's why when they're fighting up against the owners and stuff like this is legit. When the government can come to them and say, hey, do you need help? And they go, no. Right? Because they're strong. They're powerful. They have the dollar. There's no consistency through even out professional sports and how the money's divided, how it's sort of done. There's no structural, right? If we say guaranteed contracts in hockey, guaranteed contracts in baseball, guaranteed hockeys in basketball, they're all different. You know what I'm saying? There's no continuity to this. So when it comes to a labor strike, when it comes to separating whatever, right, no matter what it is you're fighting for, right, it's always different issues. Now, the thing that Major League Baseball is fighting for, because their union is so strong, are things that you'll never be able to bridge a conversation with in the other leagues, because you're so far down that you got to accept the crumbs you can accept. Now they can Major League Baseball where it's serious, and here's the difference. The lockout is so serious because they have the power, right? You have the lawyers to go against the league, the owners, right? That's the power of the Major League Baseball union. And that's also, too, why, in a lot of sense, you can hold out, or you can wait, or you can to what you want, right? What you want. And a lot of times the guys that are holding out, the baseball contracts to the guys that are higher, but you don't, like, the minimums coming up, that's you're always going to want to have. The big one here with Major League Baseball, Neil, is your year of the eligibility, or your time served and stuff like that, because that's, if you do that for everybody on your roster, to whatever, that's millions and millions and millions of dollars. And in the big thing, both sides realize it. That's why it's coming to this. They're fighting over steak. They're not fighting over friggin' ground beef.
No, and I understand that. It's just, for me, I wonder, does that strike a chord with people, with regular people like you and I, and the people listening and the people watching and stuff like that, where, for me, it's interesting to see the owner's strategy play out in all this, to where, again, it goes back to that, where they're rich. They're the ones that have and certainly athletes make a good living. Not as many as you think, though, just in terms of baseball, where,
right.
I have a good friend of mine that went to Oakland.
23 guys, 8 of them are millionaires.
Bingo. And see, I don't think people realize that. No. They think that everybody, a guy that went to Oakland, Mike Brasso, who played for the Tampa Bay Rays, just got traded to Milwaukee. He's one of those guys that's in on a minimum contract. You can look it up. It's out there. So you're talking $615,000, which is great. Great. Obviously, that's great to all of us. That's a lot of money. But you get taxes and you get your agent and all that. That gets sliced up decently. Still a great living. Still playing a game for a living. Certainly, no doubt about that. It's just he's not. He hasn't made $40 million right. or anything like that. He's to the point where if it all ended today, he'd have to go to work.
Yeah, and here's the conversation. What you say is it's interesting where the owners or the players realize where they're at, because it's the aloofness of the Major League Baseball owners to not realize how in jeopardy their game is on a level to the fans, right? Like, we're tired of this. And you're going to add this after how people feel about voting into the Hall of Fame. You're gonna, after all this, the times have changed. People are ready for baseball to evolve. The owners don't seem like they're ready for it to evolve.
Right, and they never will be. And we're gonna see the owners run their game here. And I wonder if that resonates with people, because they'll wait them out because they have more money, and they can. And when you start missing checks in a game, that's when it comes down. Speaking from experience, how much did that hurt you guys when checks stopped coming in?
Yeah.
How quickly did it get real?
Well, it got real for a lot of guys. Hockey guys are different because it's about principle.
Right.
Right. It's more of being Canadian. And but for me, it's never about the dollar, right? It's always about the principle of fight. So it was like, if we're all in, it's just sort of like you're lacing them up and it's going to be a bench brawl game. Well, you know what? Go pick the right guy. Something like that. I think that, but once it does, you see how different guys, where the dollar means more to them, depending on how much they're losing. And this is where they prey on, Neil. They prey on, and this is why with baseball, or football even, or whatever, but they prey on the guy that knows that, oh, you're going to miss out. You're going to only make this right now. This is your lottery ticket, right? And you're going to miss out on your lottery ticket, and they try to break you that way with the dollar. Because what you said, at the end of the day, they're owners. They're millionaires, billionaires. They can wait it out if they want, right? So at the end of the day, it goes down to the public perception of not supporting it, right? Because how do you hurt owners in their pocketbooks? We talk about it here all the time. Right. How do you get the lines to change, right? It's just the way it is. We talk about it, but are people going to do it? The longer it goes, do the players, are they as adamant in their quest? It's like anything else. Time.
Doug Fungus says players are underpaid. Nothing will convince me otherwise. And that's really where I am, because the owners can have their teams and everything like that in their stadiums and their arenas. The players are the talent. If you don't have the talent, it's not a good product.
I mean, I don't understand how there can't be a win-win, or but it's all that's, I know. I'm too.
You're
too
so
positive.
Phyllis, yeah.
I know. Too. Glass ain't half full. It's refillable. But when I have my way, when I am the chief Canada consultant for everywhere, we'll be all good.
Yeah, it's just, I'm curious how people take that. Where
I think they're sick and tired of it. It's the same thing as the BS of the Hall of Fame. If they would have came out this year and said, Barry Bonds, you're in, asterisk, to the biggest cheater ever, to whatever story they wanted to tell, people would have a little bit more respect to the fact that they only narrate the game the way they want it narrated, right? That's baseball. They're the old boomer curmudgeon. They're curmudgeon. I even know what that means. They're not even boomer. They're curmudgeon.
Yeah, something that's certainly not a curmudgeon. Cintron World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages, premium bottled water, and Revitalizer shots. The official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners with the Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice. Buy online at cintronworld.com with the promo code RedWings10. Save 10% with shipping included. Drink it. Live it with Cintron.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Here at Woodward Sports, we're always up for a good cause and a good time. This year, we present the 2022 Cupid Run. Yeah, you heard right. Time to get in our underwear and run the streets of Detroit. For the last 12 years, we've stripped down, ran in the cold, and partied to raise money to help fund research to end NF. February 12th, join the staff from Woodward Sports and hundreds of other beautiful people downtown at the Tin Roof. You can register as an individual or your team today at woodwardsports.com. So start doing those squats, sit-ups, or just some 12-ounce curls. And get ready for Cupid's Undie Run 2022. Sponsored by the awesome people at Gypsy Vodka, Cintron, and Planet Fitness. We'll see you February 12th at the Tin Roof. In our underwear. Thank you to Chili Peppers Tanning.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty here in the house, Sawyer, Sam Flannel as well. Happy to have all of you with us. And, we were talking like the business into sports. And, some of you are upset, some of you don't care. And, I guess I figured that's where it would be at. Boselinium TV says, I'll always watch the Tigers, but the owners suck. So there you have that. But, D-Mac, speaking of business, and this is going to get you upset, and that's why I kind of saved this towards the end of the show. The NHL All-Star Skills Competition on ESPN had the best event viewership in a decade. Nearly 1.1 million viewers, the most watched since 2012, up 29% versus 2020, the last one that was held, 77% since 2019. But here's the key, the most watched edition by ages 18 to 49 since 2012. Largest viewership of the day on cable among the 18 to 49-year-old crowd, D-Mac. ESPN making a difference, D-Mac.
Well, I can understand that because the skills competition is great. Do you have that Zegras goal? Yeah. Okay, dude, how can you not love this in the new age? So Trevor Zegras, the guy that we're talking about, I'll narrate it for all you guys listening on the 99.1 The Roar or wherever you're listening. He's getting blindfolded right now by John Gibson, the goalie. He goes down, if you haven't seen this, he's got a balloon attached to his stick, but he does a 360 or 290, whatever. But the fact he keeps the puck on his stick and then pulls it back in one motion and shoots and scores, right, while blindfolded, muscle memory, how can you not be a fan of them doing all that stuff? So great. Congratulations, Gary. Way to go and bring the flowers.
Are you ready to give him his flowers, D-Mac?
Smoke and mirrors. Really? And then you're going to put on ESPN the garbage that you put on and try to make me watch that stuff? Be consistent. Please, be consistent, because now you got everybody else buffaloed, and I'm great because NEI's good, bad, or indifferent is great. You use ESPN the way it's supposed to be used, but now you're going to direct them to ESPN, and you're going to lose them because you're garbage that you put on TV. That's what it is. Where's the consistency? Act like you care. Act like you want to use this and want to grow. You should use these numbers and put every effort into the rest of the season that you want. Either flex games, do whatever else. Put the right broadcasting crew on a game so I can listen to it. Stuff like that. Maybe. But hey. I got other things to do. I've got time to run the NHL. But no, I give him his flowers for that's what ESPN's supposed to do. How excited was I when the NHL...
That's what I was going to say. You were the one that championed it the most.
Awesome. I love the kids. I love what they're doing. I love the competitions, and they're bringing the new age into it. And the kids like this showing... What Zegras is doing is the same thing that I show you Dylan Larkin being D-Boss in the basement, ripping it off the bars, different things. all these kids can relate to it because they can do that on their rollerblades, in their drive, right? They can relate to all this stuff, right? So keep it relatable. Then you go back and make it unrelatable to somebody who wants to watch. So what's the use of having those numbers when you're just acting like the WWE? It's just, you don't care. It's your Broadway production, right? You don't care about the talent, the fan, the person that's been there that wants to grow this game, right? Kudos to you. Numbers don't lie. That's the truth. But now what are you going to do for me? Way to go, Dad. You showed up after 10 years and you gave me a bike, and then you left.
I like that line right there. Colonel Linga says...
Fucking chain fell off.
Colonel Linga says that was an awesome goal, and yet it was only number 4 on ESPN's top 10 plays that day. That's biased BS. Well, Lingus, I would tell you this. It's ESPN's product, so I don't think they were being biased against it. It's literally ESPN's product. So I don't see how they could be biased against it because it's literally theirs. They own it. No, but D-Mac, you were the biggest champion, and I was too. I was excited, and they put out the little documentary on the theme song for the ESPN NHL Tonight, and everybody was fired up. And I'm curious to check in with everybody here because I know there's some of you that don't watch hockey.
Does anybody else feel they mailed it in this year?
Well, see, I would say no, but here's the deal with that, though, D-Mac. For me, you are right about the broadcast of the national games on ESPN Plus. You're right. It's less than. And I'll leave it at that. You know me, I'm not in the business. I'm not.
We're neither. It's about the whole. You know, when I
ever
come at it, it's about the team. It's never individual. It's not. It's putting the effort in, and I don't see it. I saw it for the All-Star game, but why can't you do it more often?
But here's what was for me, and it is just this simple, where I've watched more hockey this year than I have in the last. Probably that same time for probably about the last 10 years. I've watched more hockey, and there's 2 reasons for it. Number one, I'm already an ESPN Plus subscriber. And they put, and not just because I'm on ESPN Plus, because that's why. I was always, it's the best value in sports television to me. But anyway, with all that being said, I already subscribed to ESPN Plus. They basically took NHL Center Ice and moved it to ESPN Plus. So there is always a game on. Always. You know me, I'm kind of West Coast game elite, especially on the weekends. So there's always a game on. Now, since it's always there for me and it's easily deliverable, I'm going to watch it. Now, with that being said, they have their little In the Crease show or, game day or NFL primetime, but for hockey, whatever they call that terminology. They have that little show on. I don't watch that a ton. But I do not like the national broadcast for reasons that you and I have talked about privately, for reasons that you've talked about publicly, where it is just not a good broadcast product. It's not. And I think it was you said if you can't stand to watch it, then how do you expect me to watch it? And that blew my mind. Because you're not just going to consume it for the sake of consuming it. You have to like it.
Right. Where you can put it on in the background and there's only so many things. Now, to your point, it's the same thing as we're talking about with the Olympics and Peacock and NBC and stuff like that. They did the same thing with WWE, right? They took the WWE network, put it on Peacock, so you have it. So to my point, flowers to the accessibility. Flowers to the fact that the product is there. Flowers to the NHL and the fact that we can find it more easily because of everything. They figured out the flow. But no flowers to the fact that you're going to, what did I say to Fish earlier? Fish, you're hungry. Here's a bowl of poop. Eat it. That's pretty much what they're doing to me. So they're giving me food, but they're making me consume garbage, in my opinion. That it's and if I can find the positive in everything, it's just the consistency and giving it a chance and seeing the consistent same thing over and over again, Neil, is where I have a problem with, right? So what do you do when you don't like it? You choose to not watch. Then if it changes or whatever, if you can tolerate or your plans changed to whatever because the game's more important, you find a way to find the feed on the radio and you turn the volume off.
AC in our YouTube chat thread says, who's better, TNT hockey or ESPN hockey? And I would say from a broadcast perspective, TNT is better to me. However, their studio show tries a little too hard, man.
Tries to be too much like the basketball show.
Yeah,
but
it tries way too hard.
But here's the thing, too, Neil, and you know this. That's still young. The fact that what I love about that studio show is I see Wayne Gretzky having fun, right? I see him start to get, into sort of this element. I love Biz because Biz and I are like the same thing, so he's like the comic relief sort of like stepchild. But there's an evolution, there's a flow. Anson Carter, obviously my boy Rick Talk and stuff like this. I think that, yes, I see what you're saying, but it's also, too, is give them a year, right? Working together. This is something new for a lot of them, at least being together in the locker room. But I can tell, see, what I like as a former player is I sense the locker room, right? It brings me back to the locker room. They'll try to be all right and media talk, and then something will be said, and it'll revert back to like if we were sitting next to the locker room. What brings me back is the interview with Steve Yzerman. Biz asked him something, and Stevie he asked him, what do you do to relax outside? And Stevie in his Stevie way gave him I've had that so many times. I text Biz, and I was like, he just did. That's what he does to me all the time. But then on national TV, he says, well, I'm just not going to divulge that to you to save the time and the play. In the perfect Stevie way, which is the same thing. I love that. Because you don't get that. You're going to get that from them because there's the hockey guys behind it, right? Hockey guy breaks down hockey guy. You see Steve Yzerman be more Steve Yzerman, at least more dressing room, more hockey guys. So when they talk to hockey guys, you see that come out, if that makes sense.
Michael says a broadcast on ESPN Plus would be better with better announcing. It's not that hard. Just get Kevin Weeks to do the play-by-play. And
he's a color guy, not play-by-play. Neil Rule and Kevin Weeks would be good, though. But you know what else is good? No matter what, no matter where you're at and everything else, because Sammy Flanagan, we got a full house today, boys, so I need you on your game. Guardian Alarm, they get it. They all get it, whether it's for your home or your business. A good defense helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm. State-of-the-art technology helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 monitoring. You can lock, unlock your house, turn on your temperatures if it's cold. How about the lights for everybody else? If your house is on fire, your smoke alarm will go off. Come right here. Or that deadly silent killer, carbon monoxide. Whatever it is, you can be just like the Big D Energy Woodward Sports family, but I need you to call. Help me out, Sammy. It's 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Tell everybody who's out there, big lineup at Birmingham Roast out there. That's 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house.
Stay out of Sammy Flannel's closet where all his 15 flannels are. Let them know Woodward Sports sent you. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. We're Big D Energy. We'll be right back. Woodward Sports Network.
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Comerica Park, sunshine, the crack of the bat. More sunshine, warmth. We're almost there, Detroit. Summer 2022 will be the summer of Woodward Sports. We just gotta make it through this damn cold first.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel in the house. We got Sawyer also as well. And let's check in on that Sawyer Twitter follower count. Have we bumped it up a couple? Yeah. Oh, 10% increase.
Oh,
10% increase in Twitter followers. Wow. That's the way you do that.
Got 5 more?
6.
6? Oh, nice. Hey,
so what sounds better? 6 more followers or followership increased by over 10%?
Over 10%.
Yeah.
Get that stock going up.
That's the rule factor.
Hey, so you're gone.
Yes.
Tomorrow, Thursday, Friday.
Yep, and that is the last road trip of the regular season. Next time we'll be
so
up
next
for
time
March Madness.
You could see Neil is if you show up at the Brass Rail for the party on Sunday. So let me ask you, -4.5 LA Rams at home right now.
Well, I saw it's trending back down to 4 flat.
All right. We'll say 4 then.
Okay.
Right. Give the people at home. I know, and I know
give
it's
you-
only
give you the get
Tuesday,
right.
and you can't
Yeah.
change your mind. I will not hold you to
No,
it. But where
I
are
will.
you?
If I say it, then we're holding myself to it. And here's the bottom line: I'll give you the get right special.
Which is on from 2 to 4 today.
Yeah, I'll give you the get right special. 13-5, the get right was. That's documented. You can go
well
back.
documented.
Yeah, well
you can go back
documented.
to the
13 and
archives. You
5.
can go anywhere that you catch
Yeah.
Woodward Sports Network and look
You can
back.
go back and look it up, but
It's true.
we can save you some
Save
time.
your time.
13-5, documented. We got one final get right for you, and this is it. And Sawyer, I want you on this one. I want everybody in America on this one. Heads on the coin flip.
Oh,
Heads
wow.
on the coin flip.
Wait a sec. Oh, because I'll tell you this, why this is big. Right? Big fan of Pat McAfee show.
Yep.
He's putting 40 grand on tails.
Is he really?
He lost last year, but I know that they're doing a big thing or whatever, but I heard him say that he's going 40 grand on tails.
It was
That
tails.
just tells me that Neil Rule's get right is so much more effective and better.
You better holler at your boy.
Hey, big fan, Pat, but sorry, bro. If the get rights heads, I'm going heads.
The get right special, documented 13-5. We're not making that up. That's factual. Heads is the play. Heads is the play on the coin. Sawyer, I want you in on this one. We'll compare notes at the brass rail on Sunday.
I like it.
We'll pump the fist. We'll pound one. We'll slam one. Slamsies.
Yes, so end of the day, who wins?
The Rams are going to win. Burrow's going to make a couple of mistakes, and Aaron Donald's he's going to have a game. I'm big on Jalen Ramsey. He's just, and I know he hasn't so far. I know that, but I'm just telling you guys, Joe Burrow's going to make he's going to be coerced into a couple of mistakes, and he's not going to be able to that 3rd and 7 run or 3rd and 8 run against the Chiefs that he slipped out of the tackle. That ain't happening against the Rams. It's not, and I'm not saying that Matt Stafford won't make a mistake. I'm saying Burrow will make at least 2 mistakes, and when he does, that's going to flip it, and the Rams are going to win.
All right. Well, that segues me to Friday, Sawyer. We want to do a prop bet Friday. Some of the best prop bets are out there, and looking for you guys in the Twitter tags to any of the prop bets that you guys like. Obviously, we're all going with the get right special. And how are you going to feel?
I'm staking the get right reputation on this one.
You are, which is slowly creeping up to 70%.
Right.
Which is retired.
I can't do much more than that, guys. I can't do much more than that.
No.
And think about it too: the entertainment value, all the Mountain West games, all the Hawaii midnight kickoffs. Now my guy Timmy Chang's going to be the head coach at Hawaii.
Did you see that?
The overs are going to be back in play, everybody.
Oh, my gosh. There might be 1,000-yard thrower in college in one game. Where are you going to be? Where can people listen to you?
I'll be Oakland's playing Youngstown State and Robert Morris, final road regular season games of the year, 1270 the Bet AM. So I know we're not supposed to prop out other radio stations and what we're on, but that's where I'll be.
I'm prepping you, and I don't care. That doesn't matter. Where can I find you? And it's nice to see that everybody can figure out a win-win. They can all have a piece.
Yeah, there you go. That is true. But yeah, heads is the play. I'm putting a get right on it, so that'll be the final get right of the year, unless something else pops up as we go through. But that's what it is. Heads. I'm drawing the line in the sand, and there we go. Sawyer's going to get in on it.
We're all in on it.
We're all in
Think
on it.
about how many $2 beer. This guy's going to go for $2, and he's going to even buy a $4 craft beer at Fulling Warehouse. He's going to spend $10
for a
with his new
lifetime supply of
headwinds.
mystery beer.
There you have it,
Love
guys. No, I do love it. Appreciate it, Tammy
you
Chin.
will
Have
be
a great week.
You
Neil.
will
See
be
you on
missed,
Sunday.
sir, but we will try to hold the fort down. Looks like we're bringing out the super speed pontoon tomorrow there, Sawyer.
Oh, yeah.
What are you guys going to have? Little of this, little of that?
Little of this, little of that. Gonna slap Easy around a little bit because I think he wants to come and join in on the fun. But stick around. We're definitely gonna do Sawyer's quarter mile We'll probably dig into who knows. Who knows? What else is going on?
Doughboy Steve says, Sawyer, what's the Twitter handle? Give it out one more time.
At Benge Sawyer. Capital B, capital S.
Benge Sawyer.
Yep. That's the
on
one.
Twitter. It's criminal that, and I know Twitter's not like your preferred avenue of social media. I get that, but you got to jump. Once it gets to 100, he'll jump on with a tweet.
Oh yeah, we'll throw some out there.
Ooh,
we'll throw some
nice. So, is that a 200%? 200% increase? I'm waiting for big profits.
one more. Yeah, I'm waiting for one more to take it over 50%.
Once we get over 200, then we know we're rolling. You'll hear from the Messiah himself.
Absolutely. Appreciate all you guys tapping in. I will see you Sunday night at the Brass Rail for the Super Bowl extravaganza. The Ashawn Bowl, as it were, will be. If there's an Ashawn Robinson prop, we're going to get the squad to go over on. I don't care what the prop is. Whole squad's going over on it. For Sawyer, for Sam Flannel, for D-Mac, my name is Neil Rule. Thanks, everyone, for listening to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.
Gang, gang.